Right, so different video today. We've come to Bilstein headquarters, or Bilstein UK headquarters. Now, if you saw the last episode, you'll remember that we fitted these PPS 10, so the B16 damper, to the blue van to test them, ready for how we want them to work on the Tesla van. We sent the warden off to Wales for a long weekend just to test them out, and there's a couple of things he noticed, and the main one being we thought they could do with being a bit softer. Obviously, that Tesla van's going to be hooning it around the Nürburgring, but we think they're, having spoke to Bilstein about how they're working currently, that they would be nice to make them a little bit softer on the adjuster range and then still have the performance at speed and cornering. So we're at Bilstein UK. We're going to go inside. They're going to take these apart for us and make the adjustments we think we need so we can put them back on that van, send the warden back off to Scotland the next weekend to put a long run on them. But while we're here, we thought we'd show you around, show you what Bilstein do, and show you what how they do their testing and their building process here. Let's go inside. Right, so we're here in the Bilstein damper workshop with Dave, and Dave's going to strip these two dampers now, take the internals out and change them to get the balance that we want to get.
Yep, that's right.
And there's Aaron.
So these have come in, customers saying they're a little bit firm. So how this damper works, it's a series of shims sitting either side of the piston, and these will flex depending on what velocity and what force the damper's seeing. So as we want to soften it off, we've got these shims here that are various thicknesses, going up in 0.05 of a mil increments, and we're changing these to soften it off for him and give it a smoother ride. This area is the soft valve in sort of position 1 up to 5, and this is when it's closed. Obviously in between it works a bit of both. Okay.
So that's Dave's built up that damper now, and we're going to get it on the, what do you call that, Damper Dyno?
Damper dyno.
To test, to get it tested.
Okay, so we're going to test the damper now on the dyno. We're going to run it up to 0.5 metre a second, measuring the compression and rebound forces. It's going to plot a nice graph. We can look at the figures and see if it's more suitable.
So one of the other things that we noticed from the dampers, or when we fed back to Lewis on how we thought they were, is he thought possibly it'd be worth changing the bump stop. So that was the original bump stop that was in there, and then Dave's put in the smaller bump stop in the dampers now as he builds them back up again. So that's the second test done on the other damper now, and Dave's adjusted them, changed the shims to change the oil rate, and the figures show that we're going to get a softer dampening rate in the lower adjustment, which is where we think we need it. So on the lower settings on the 1 through to 5. Yeah, and we were happy with it, the higher end of that anyway. So yeah, Dave's going to get it back together. Looking forward to trying this out. Right, so while we're here, we've picked up the new springs that Lewis has designed for us. Am I allowed to mention your name? Yeah, Lewis has designed for us. So these are the springs that will go on the final Tesla build. We tried some different springs previously, but we were waiting for these to come through. So these are ready to go on. So that's the new rear spring, the new front spring on the damper that Dave's just built up for us. So you didn't see clearly before, but obviously this is a monotube damper, which is different to the twin tube, but look at the size of that shaft. It's a good size shaft, isn't it? Lewis loves a good shaft. Right, anyway, let's get these back and get them tried on. Right, so a little bit different that video today. We just thought we'd show you another side of the industry, really. So what we've just shown you there is obviously very bespoke to the monotube setup that's going on the Tesla van, but it kind of gives you an idea of what works with the twin tube stuff that you see currently on the B14 and the B14 Comfort, and generally across suspension dampers. It shows you the quality that goes into the Bilstein stuff. They're so well built. I mean, I went for a tour around the warehouse while Danny was filming what was going on, and even down to the quality of the hydraulic oil they put in it is the best of the best. And it's very much a case of you get what you pay for. People assume when you're fitting coilovers on your van that because you're lowering it, you're reducing the quality of the ride. Well, it's just not true, because the shims and the technology inside the dampers are so much more complex than they are with the OEM damper. So lowering your van doesn't mean it's going to be uncomfortable. Lowering your van means it can be way more comfortable. It just needs to be lowered correctly with the right size damper and the right spring setup. Anyway, like I said, quite bespoke to the monotube. Very, very similar setup and development goes into when you're making a twin tube like the B14, but on a larger scale. We're going to take this back now. We're going to try it in the blue van, get some miles behind that, get Warden to send it off to Scotland and give it a good run out to see if it needs any other tweaks or changes. But looking at the paperwork and the graphs and the figures from this, we think it'll be absolutely spot on for what we're looking for when we take the Tesla van around the Nürburgring. So as always, I hope you found the video interesting, a bit different to the normal kind of video, and we'll try and do some more stuff like this. It's just a bit more outside of what we just do at Transport HQ. If you find it interesting, please press the like button, share it with anybody else that might be interested in anything suspension related or anything we do. And as always, thanks for watching.